Hi everyone. My name is Soror Seshat, and I normally don't make videos. I don't make videos mostly because I like to see my head in its actual size, as opposed to too small or too large. But Spirit compelled me to put this together today for you, and I wrote a few little notes to make sure I don't forget to touch on some of the things that I wanted to talk about. A little bit about me: I'm over 50 years old. Yep. And I have died 3 times in my life, and I'm still here and kicking. I believe in magic, God, UFOs, and good old-fashioned common sense. And I don't see that there's a conflict with any of those things. And none of those things really is what I wanted to talk to you about today. I'm a card-carrying human being, and I wanted to weigh in on some of the pandemonium that I've been seeing that has been reflected in the news and media. So I am inviting you here to my temple, Temple Tortolos, which means turtle dove. It's my personal sanctuary. And I'm bringing you here because even in this very tranquil, beautiful place, I feel the sorrow and the pain and the disenfranchisement and the anger that's going on about in the world. And the reason I can feel these things is because your thoughts are things. When you think these certain things, or you have these various feelings, they do radiate out from you, and they have an impact on the greater world at large. And a lot of this pandemonium is bringing sorrow to many people. And this is one of the compelling reasons I wanted to make this video and make my petition for change. The Pope said today that there is no hell. And the first thing I thought was, geez, aren't we kind of writing ourselves out of a job? But then I thought about it and I realized, you know what, there isn't a hell. We've brought all of those hellish things right here on earth. And this isn't the first time that you're hearing that. We're experiencing those bad, negative, evil, horrible things right here and right now. And so the debate on whether or not a hell exists is irrelevant, because life is hell for many people right now. And like I mentioned earlier, the reason it's hell is because we create our own reality. And many of you know this, you feel this, you've had those moments where it was like, oh my gosh, or aha, or wow, I did that. And you've had that feeling, I know, because I've had that feeling, and I'm not so different from anyone else. So you know deep inside that you create your own reality, but for some reason many of us ignore that, and we engage and relish and we choose to feel negative about things. I know all of this stuff too. And not that I've ignored it, but over the past couple of days, what really drove it home for me and really brought my focus on it was a simple eBay exchange. And that was my aha moment, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. I'm on eBay. I like eBay. The whole aspect of the auction I find very engaging. Knowing that you got something really cool for really cheap is one of my little pleasures, I guess you could say. And on this particular occasion, I found a bookseller that happened to have some of the most complex procedures in ordering the books that I've ever seen on eBay. They wanted you to go through a list of books that they had placed. Thank God it was in alphabetical order. Choose which books you want. Then send a message with those books that you want with your payment. $3 for the first book, $1 for each book thereafter, $2.99 postage for the first book, with XYZ postage for every book after, blah, 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 blah. So I spent an exorbitant amount of time choosing which books it was that I wanted to buy, and very excitingly, I went ahead and put my order in and sent the message and sent the payment off PayPal. Shortly after this, like very quickly, I get this note from the seller saying, hey, you didn't send enough money. And I'm like, what do you mean? Now, normally, you guys, my first knee-jerk reaction would be, Oh, no, no, no. This is how I understood what you wanted me to do. I did it. You give me my books. It's in my nature to fight, to argue, to debate. Now, even though it's in my nature, like all of us, I've been working very hard to be more mellow and calm and focused on positive things. So while this is my nature, it is not me. And part of life is overcoming that natural animal, that energy that drives our physical bodies, and ascend above that to a more spiritual side. So on this occasion I said, no, you know what, I'm going to default to the seller. And I sent a note back and I said, oops, you know, my bad. I am such a knucklehead. You know what, let me change my order. These are the books that I want instead. I get a little note back, says, no worries. Now, any Libra out there is going to know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that no sooner did I put that order in, was there a book off of my original list that I wish I had selected instead. It's the old thing of we go into a restaurant and we order something, and then when the plates come, everybody else's food looks better than what we had ordered. And there was something my sister had said to me a long time ago. She goes, you know, don't keep asking for a hamburger and then be disappointed when you get a hamburger, because really what you wanted was a hot dog. So this was one of those cases of like, oh, I could have had a V8. I wish I had that hot dog. So instead, what I did was I started thinking about the seller. And I was thinking in my mind, throw this book in, this particular book. Do a good thing. You know, there's not enough black on your ledger. Who's going to buy that particular book anyway? Just go ahead and throw that in. And I sent that message out, that thought out into the world with a love feeling behind it. Now, a lot of us say love, and there's all kinds of different feelings of love. This feeling of love that I put out was the I'm in love feeling. That full, satisfied, blossoming, feeling of love behind that message. Go ahead and put that book in there. And I sent that out, and you know what? And then I let it go. And I let it go because, as anyone who has studied or practiced various esoteric arts would say to you, is we have to have a level of confidence in what we're doing and what we're putting out there, and know that the universe is going to support it. So I put it out there and then I let it go. I didn't order the book. So there you have it. So a few days later, the box arrives. And you know what? You guys already know what I'm going to tell you. You already know what I'm going to tell you because your heart already feels what I'm about to tell you. That box came and I opened it. And sure enough, that book was in it. Yep, out of a number of books that I had declined to order, the book that I wanted was in it. So I was stoked. But not only was I stoked, it was one of those feelings of, thank you. Yeah, you gave me another example, and I appreciate that. You're right. Thoughts are things. I make my reality. And that's what hit me. And you know, as I kind of pondered that thing, something else came to mind. This bookseller was open to that love vibe. They were open to that love vibe because they wanted to pay it forward. See, I have this theory that inside of everyone, very deep down, there's a little hero. And that little hero says, let me out. Let me out. I want to stop the train. I want to save the kid. I want to pull the cat out of the tree and save the family from the burning fire. And that little hero originates from our deep down desire to nurture, to feel needed, to want to protect. Now these feelings are of the feminine. Boaz, my pillar here, represents that feminine energy. Now that feminine energy is also severe and harsh when the truth is not told. But that is the source of that little hero. And it dawned on me that this bookseller wanted to be the hero. And I thought, you know, how many times in life do we do something really cool, but the humbleness that's within us says, you know what, I don't have to go out and put a big billboard out there. Hey, I was the one that saved that baby. Or have the news come over and interview me, and yes, you know what, inside I had this God form that I was so awesome. And I went ahead and did this. And I said, you know what, this person did this because they wanted to pay it forward, and they didn't necessarily have to have all of that. But I want to be the one to give them that. And so as I sat and I thought about it, I was like, I want to send them a little something. Now, I founded and became the designer of the Rhoda Magic Wand. That was given to me. And part of the design of this concept was I wanted the schematic of the wand to be out in the world as well and not have any cost attached to it. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I'm a firm believer that as we make the environment around us nice people and make the people around us happy people, we will enjoy and reap the pleasures of that happiness as well vicariously, because our world's a better place, right? So I thought about it and I said, you know what, I want to send the seller a little something and surprise her like she surprised me and give her that feeling back. So I took a little sphere, a little rose quartz sphere, and I engraved on it a blessing of wealth and success, etched it into the crystal for her business, and I wire wrapped it, and it hit me. As I was wire wrapping it, it was like, wow, you know what? This may be very well become a gesture for her, but what gesture or symbolic thing do we as a people in commonality have together to be able to share and be like, this is the epitome, the representation of that love. So out of that, I came up with another idea. I call it the rhodosphere. We'll go into that some other time. Because now what I really want to focus on, again, are that thoughts are things. And they are things of substance. Everybody, they have as much substance as Boaz, as Hakim, the male energy pillar that you see here. They are as solid as steel and as pliable as the air that we move through. They also have the strength, the endurance, and the capacity of a storm. And that's every thought. Now, in magic, we call the force behind all of existence, the entire universe, we call this force the Azov. The Azov has no morals, it has no ethics. It will easily power evil as it will power good. Hence another reason why our thoughts should be focused around good. Now, I'm not going to get all preachy. Anybody that knows me knows that I can get on a soapbox. Ooh, I'd be like, girl, let me tell you what's going on. I'm not going to do that because you know what? I think you already know. You already know that your thoughts mean something. You already know that your dreams have substance. You already know that when you're standing in line at the grocer and the person in front of you that's screwing around with those coupons and you've got somewhere to go with things to do is hearing your thought when they turn and they look back at you like, shh, I heard that thought of you telling me I need to rush, but I'm not going to rush because this is my space right here and right now and you're not going to impact it. So you know what I've come to find, you guys, is the energy and the emotional force that each one of us has in us that will allow us to be the hero. The only force that matters is the force of love. I want to petition to you and I want to ask of each of you to be in love. To be in love right now. Be in love with your girl. Be in love with your guy. In love with your family. In love with the sky being blue today. In love with the earth and that it brings forth all of these beautiful plants. Be in love with your cat and just how amazing this animal is, and that this animal seems to understand you when nobody else does. Just be. Be yourself and be in love. Love is the only emotion that has an impact on space-time. It will move through space. It will move through time, and it will impact your life. It has a quantum effect on reality that we don't understand everything about, but we know when it happens and we know why. Nobody has to tell us. We don't need a sign. We don't need a new book. This is the secret. This is you creating reality. This is you being mindful. This is you in the now. We don't need all of that because we know, and nobody's telling us anything practical. Here's the practical thing. Love makes you feel good. It makes you want to do good. It makes you feel satisfied. It ascends you beyond the fact that you may not have enough money to pay your bills, beyond the fact that you're only having rice or ramen for dinner tonight, beyond the fact that you've got 2 textbooks to read over the Easter weekend if you expect to graduate. Love is the only feeling that will lift you above all of this mundane mediocrity to something really grand and really special. Okay, so basically, love is the only emotion that carries any weight. Everything else that you're doing does nothing for you. Worrying about him, her, it, that, there is just giving that space in your mind, letting it live rent-free, as they say, and it's not serving you or anyone else. I hate this, I hate that, I hate my president, screw this, screw that, F you, bip. My husband loves when I do that. It's kind of like the And you need to see that. And you need to see that because is not what is going to get you to where you truly, really want to be. Because everybody's soul knows that it's working its way backwards. It is working its way backwards to lay the foundation and the framework by which your existence will have a legacy, where it will grow, where it will add substance and roots to who you are. So being in love and being yourself and being unique and authentic and marking that on the world is the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that matters right now. Why waste your time with anything else? Not only that, it feels really good. So love is what moves the Azov. It gives the universe motion. It creates the cosmos. When God said, let there be light, he wanted the light to shine on his love. And out of that sprung everything else. Now again, I'm not being preachy. I'm not telling you there's a God, there's not a God. You know what? You can believe whatever you want to believe. And it's cool and it's reality because differentiation is what allows consciousness to expand and fill the space of the cosmos. So without those differences, without that beautiful uniqueness that is you, well heck, we might as well just go back. If everything's the same, we might as well just go back to source, right? And just be a part of the one. The one is reaching out, and it's reaching out because it wants you to know the one. And the one thing that you need to know, the one damn thing you need to know is to remember that love is the energy. So, considering this, know that, and I suggest that you feel in love. Just feel in love. And I assure you that things will start going your way. You can expect the miracle, as they say. You can count on it. You can count on it because loving thoughts heal. They open your mind, they shape your body and what it looks like. They shape your life. Have you seen anybody that was unhappy, sad, mad, or angry that really looked like, ooh, you looking good? No, you don't. Because those feelings don't look good. And for the most part, none of us want to be a part of it. Keep it to yourself. And don't put it on Facebook. You know, come on, guys, we don't need to know every sad, miserable, effed up thing that's going on with you. We really don't. We say we care and we say, oh, you know, I see those things, I don't know what to do. Do I like it? I like that you feel like crap. I like that you lost your job. I almost feel obligated to have to kind of share something to lift you up from that. But, you know, it's like my mom said, God rest her soul, she goes, there is nothing more important in life than you being happy and your family being able to count on you being happy. And, you know, that was like one of the really cool things that she left with me. So, yeah, love is all that is. And I assure you that if you start feeling that love, being in love, the asphalt will hear you. Because one of my famous quotes, or at least famous to the people that know me, is that the universe will support and will grow that which propagates and bears fruit. Now, the only thing that truly propagates and bears fruit is love. Your loving action. You giving that person the free book and her sending you the pendant, and then you get the pendant, and so that day you're on a rush and you do something neat for somebody else. You might pick up a hitchhiker where you never would have. You might have helped somebody that you didn't help. You know, it's like Bill Murray at the end of that movie Scrooge, where he says, you know, you take a blanket and a sandwich and you go here. Yeah, that's what love says. It says here. It is the fruit on the vine. It's the berry. And when you go here and you feel that love inside, the universe says, oh yeah, here. Do more, give it, share it, spread it. Them vibes out there. So right now, you guys, with all this negative stuff that's going on, we don't need it. It's not serving us. It's self-fulfilling, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that goes round and around in a circle and brings us the very thing that we fear. Harm, death, pain, sorrow, being closed up in a black box, screaming, and no one hears you. Think about that. No, you know what? Don't think about that. You've probably already thought about that. You've probably already laid in your bed in the dark at night with your eyes open, with everybody else sleeping, and felt pain. Don't feel any more pain. Feel love. Feel love, and know that whether you're a sinner, you're not a sinner, there's a hell, there isn't a hell. You hate this, you hate that, you don't like this, it's miserable, my boss is an ass, people don't like me. Out of all of that, when you feel that love lifts you. It makes you grow. It's satisfying in a way that nothing else is. It's satisfying in a way, your favorite drink, when you're thirsty, and you go, damn, that's refreshing. I love that. I love that feeling. I want that feeling. I want you to have that feeling. And it wasn't until I started feeling that feeling that I was able to make my life better. And get to this point where even though I hate getting in front of a camera, I don't like looking at pictures of myself. It was very important to come to you guys and say, please, feel love. Just be in love. And know it, and feel it, and everything that you wish and you dream for will come to you. And that is my prayer for you. And I hope that you watch this till the end. You feel me have this moment. Let me see. Okay, here's the last thing I wrote that I wanted to tell you guys. Spirit moved me to make this video and to share with you the powerful secret and the key that you carry inside of you, that amazing psychic force within your thoughts that propel it. The reason you should want to be a good person is love. Because the real hell is dying without knowing that love. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. My name is Seshat Aubi. I am the creator of the Rota Wands, ROTAWANDS.com. I'm still working on the website, but you can see what I've got so far. And have a beautiful, loving day.